Good friend of mine asked me to show how I did the carousel without a line of code and without any plugin or any JavaScript. My whole goal was to make a carousel without having to create any JavaScript or HTML code, just pure using just pure responsive engine that Bubble is providing. And here is the example. It took me about, conservatively, I will say, a day to build this. Took me about 3 4 days to publish the template. But carousel, I saw that on one of the Figma designs, and it intrigued me. I was like looking for a plugin, if there is any carousel plugin out there, and some of them are very good. They are paid. But as Bubble claims, and Bubble, I have been using Bubble for quite some time, and I took that challenge to build a carousel without having to code at all, because their responsive engine is pretty solid. I have used it, and you can see the results. So I'm going to show you how I built it. So this is a vendor page. This is the home page. So I took the color theme, tweaked it a little bit, and made into this cupcake. Now, cupcake has nothing to do with it, but it just to the pictures look good. They're colorful pictures, so I use the cupcakes. Now, the way I brought the pictures in, I'm using Bing in the background to search the cupcakes in the background and bring the vendors and the cupcakes. So now you can see this is a type. This is a carousel. It's a. This is. I think this is what it's called, carousel. It's a slideshow carousel, whatever it is. And originally, I built it with a button, so you can have a button forward and backwards. Then it didn't make any sense to have a forward and backward when I can click on. Naturally, what I will do, I look at the cupcake and I want that, I want to eat that, so on. So you can go back and forth like this. Now there is a limitation. Yeah, as you can see, you cannot say you can have like n number of cupcake, a number of cards like this. 1 2 3 4 5, only 5 cards, and that's pretty much it. So when I looked at it, it was pretty easy. When I kept looking at it for 15 minutes, I realized that it's pretty easy to make it with Bubble, because there are a couple of things that I use. There are 3 functions that Bubble automatically gives you out of the box, and those features made it, really made it. So it looks very colorful. Sorry. So I will show you how I did it. So first I have this canvas here. So I'm not going to create it from scratch. It took quite some time to get it right. Meticulously, you have to go through. Maybe there are other ways. You can tell me I made a mistake. Either if there is other way to do it, let me know, and I'll try to do it that way and see if it saves any time. So what I did is I used all these groups. So first I created this card with a group. Simply, no, even before that, I created this page, a group main. I called it group main. So on the page, I set the page as column, full width, 1900 because of my screen, and group main is the name I gave. But I did do this for some reason. I put a maximum width on it. I could have just left it open, but then my friend of mine has a 3 screen wide screen, and it just goes all the way to the right, 1 mile over there. So for him, I did this 1900 as a maximum. So this is the 1900 maximum width screen. That's one. Then within this main group, what I did is I put a this top group. This now you can see that all my designs are based all group. I think group is the only thing that in Bubble matters, and you can pretty much morph any into any component. I could be using wrong words here, but you get the point. So group top group, I created this as a row. Now row and align container as centered, but I did the width is 1400. This is very important because I wanted to put the screen right here in the center and not go have a space in between here, so I can it looks like this. So it's right in the center. This is your main showcase. So for that, I did that. You can put this and this, but there is no width. Now you can see that minimum width I'm setting everywhere is 200. I'll show you why. Because of the Google, there is a still Galaxy fold phones are out there. So 200 is here. So 200, you'll see all these minimum 200 and maximum there is nothing. Then fit to content because of the text. I don't know why I did that. Okay, going back to the main meat here. This is a group. I created a simple group, but I did as a column. But now you can see the reveal page, and you'll see there is a top group. I created this top group. Now why you will see, like you will ask like why. This is the main canvas, the main where the showcase is running, and then there is another one, and you'll see that's it's the size of the same. This is the same like 320. I could have done 200, but 320 side. This is the tile I built. Now these tiles behind here are also part of that, but you will see why this has to be a fix, a minimum 320, and then everything is contained within it. So that's how I did it. Then you have a carousel, actual carousel here. Now this is an invisible carousel. What I'm doing is see these two for the picture and for this for the vendor. So you'll see that these are like a behind the scene, behind there in the background, but that's where my data is coming from. So what I did is I didn't want to query database over and over, though there is a caching. I believe Bubble has a caching, but I created a carousel. This is where you will control your images. So it's simple as that. So you control this RG repeating group where the images are coming, and then you paint them in these individual groups. These are nothing but simple squares. So created the top one. Now you can see what is it showing. That she's showing the carousel list of search images, which is that all the search image, whatever you are searching, a arbitrary item from that list, just to give you, just to make it interesting, and convert to a number. You can see searching arbitrary text, which is group carousel play current title. I'm doing that arbitrary title and convert to number. That's pretty much in the giving it a number basically, and you'll see that it repeats. Once you create this one, then you can just repeat, copy paste, and just keep adjusting the width and the height. Other thing, this solid color, I put the background and all that. This is where the important part is. Rest is like you can build any copy paste any design here. There is no limit on that one. You can build however you want card you want to build. Here is the important part, and this is where you can suggest something, do it differently. That would be awesome, because this is where the time went, is to capturing for page width 1200. Make sure this is the width, and this and this. Look at this one very carefully, and this is how I am making it responsive. So if you go to this one, you'll see it 550 and 1024, and this. You'll also find out that these also have conditions on it. So everything is done by the condition and the screen height and width. Pretty much that's in a nutshell. There's nothing much going on. Simple square tile, smaller, smaller, and adjusting the width based on your responsive screen size. So it looks something like this. I think it looks great. Is there any code? No code? Completely no code. I did not use any plugin or any JavaScript or anything like that. So to test it, this is how I tested it on all different mobiles. This is Google's feature I use. This is the only way you can use. You can't afford all these devices running. That would be crazy. So you can set it on the responsive here. That's the last thing I do. And you can just simply go like this. Tough to do it because some of the screens that they don't make sense. These screens don't make sense. You don't have phones like that. So there's another way of doing it is simply just go by the list. Now this is going to happen because of the refresh. So in order to reload that, you have to close that screen and open it again. Oh boy, this needs to be smaller in this case. So let's do that. Make my beautiful screen here smaller. So you got, this is Galaxy Note. This is how you get it on a Note. So you can adjust that, but you can see it's the same exact group or the canvas here, and it's all responsive. So basically here it changes drastically. On the Kindle Fire, it's like this. On Kindle Fire, you have now it's not rendering right, but you get the point. You get the point. Absolutely. Pain and reality of working from home. Anyone can call and walk in uh, on you and just call. So I was showing the responsiveness. So this is Kindle Fire. One of the best thing is the our iPhone 4. 12 is the one. It looks good. Now you can see going back and forth. You can click on any. They also work pretty well on actual phone. So Samsung Ultra is there. Another thing, one that you have to check for is Air. This has a very different layout. So now you can see this render very well. Now I can see the issue here. That can be adjusted. Mini, let's see if it fixes that. I think I fixed that issue. But it's definitely the height and width of this screen. So that needs to be fixed. So, and the Duo is the problematic one. I mean, it's a very different one. 540. It gets very weird. So you jump from 540 to Galaxy like that. And so it's pretty much, they are all here. So that's that. So let's go back again. This is the detail page. Looks pretty good. So this is now how I did it in the background, the back end. So this was all the conditional logic that you have, but you also have workflow, which is write click events. So what I did is, this is the write two. I called it write one, and you have left two and left one. So each one has click event, and thanks to Bubble that they added edit workflow now. It used to be add workflow only. So now you know that there is a workflow there. So I can show you this one, the left two. When you edit, you can see what it's doing. All it's simply doing is setting a state of a group, some group, carousel playlist group, which is I created here. Any group, it doesn't matter. You can have this group. Uh, you can do it in different ways. So, but that group maintains the state of the current group, this playlist current number -3. It's very pretty much that, and it triggers the carousel. So left click. Now, what is left click? You'll see it's repeating. It's very mathematical. The left click does the display data. So it changes the data, number one. So it brings the converts to the number. See, this is why it's converting to the number. It's bringing its item number. So it on the left hand side, you have the select item number, right? So it selects whatever the arbitrary text, the current +1, and it's basically that. So it's current +1. So it's on the left. Then this is the out of the box feature that I'm using, animate. You can use different kind of animation, so that why it looks like bouncing it. And then it sets the current state, which is +1. It's fairly simple. And the right hand side, it just changes. The right hand does the uh, again the one. It just offsets it by one, and up on the left side and the right side. It pretty much that's what it is. So carousel right does the same thing. It just goes in the reverse. And these are the events. So playlist right is clicked, carousel right is clicked, a right 2, you set the position 2, and the right is clicked and the left is clicked. It's very simple. It's not nothing complex in that. It's just anyone with a logical mind can figure that out. And but it looks great. I think it looks great. So it, without having to code, without having code, and without having to buy a plugin or a JavaScript. I just don't want to write any script. No code should be just no code. I mean, no knowledge of computer is needed, and no knowledge of any language is needed. All you need is just the creativity, all your mind, creativity, how it looks, and it should be an art, fair and square. So this is pretty much it. I'll give you the full rundown. These are the vendors. I can show you in another video how I'm only bringing the cupcakes and cupcake and their vendors. How I'm doing that? It's uh, it's by Bing search. You can search by domain and create your own custom search. The AI is behind it, they say, and it will bring different searches for you. Now, I did think of looking at their documentation. I think Bing search is pretty good in a way that you create your own search, so your own site gets indexed in a different way, not through the Google, but through the Bing. But I'm just making this thing up. I have not looked at it. You guys are very well versed in the AI and Chat GPT and all that. You can correct me, but I believe that Bing search, if you create a search, there is a value for ACL. But I'm going to look into that next. This is another layout I can show you. That's what you can do in Bubble. One of the powerful responsiveness of Bubble. I think Bubble is it's a great tool. It's a great tool. But I just wish they will let me host it on my own. I'm not going to do that, but just to check that box, it can, it will fly. People will adopt it for a lot more in bigger institutions. But like I said, I have a very myopic view of development, but I do know that Bubble, you can do anything with Bubble. So much for the cupcakes here. So thank you for watching. And if you have anything else challenging, let me know. I like to take challenges, and I would like to push the limits of Bubble or any tool, not just Bubble, any tool out there in the market. Thank you.